So recut can be a little difficult to explain because, there's a cut and then of course there's a slice. But what if you wanted to cut but slice, but you wanted your slice to be what your cut would have been if it was never cut? Well, pressing Alt X will trigger something called recut while you're in slice. And this will show you exactly what we're trying to go for here, where basically a cut will happen where it's a slice on a unmodified version resulted in a derivative version of a slice that's inserted in the hole. So that could be a little tough to explain, but another way to show this in action is let's just use red box, and we'll just draw a red box here and just do a couple of cuts, and then we will do an inset. And of course, inset can be a little bit strange, but if we press Alt X, you can see that there are two types of inset now. This is basically your regular general inset, and this one is the recut, which the recut version isn't actually looking the best in this particular example to, validate its existence. So let's actually delete this cube, and I'll start off with a clean cube, and we'll just demonstrate this one more time. And so now we're creating an inset. And if we give it some thickness, this is what we're dealing with. And if we Alt X, this is basically what recut is. So it's a little difficult to explain, but it's like a different type of cut that actually uses the other types of cuts happening inside of it to give you a different sort of calculation. And so we actually came across this sort of thing by accident. However, it became rapidly apparent. I was like, hey, that thing that you're about to patch out, can I take a look at that? And so we had a bit of an internal discussion on it. Nobody wanted to give it its own color. It could have been orange box. I could have been talking about orange box today. But it definitely comes in handy for situations where, let's say I wanted to draw like a yellow box here. I could press Alt X and actually get back the original shape that I had and just modify it to kind of undo what was formerly there. So in another universe where we're able to just merge geometry to other stuff and just kind of heal things up to just make things look as if it never happened, this would be one of those building blocks as far as making a cutter that basically allows us to negate other cuts and pretend as if these things never happened. So I'm sorry if that's a little bit complex of an explanation for what recut is, but that's probably the best way I could put it after a series of rehearsals. Taking this cube, and we'll just press Q and go under Mesh Tools and hit it with a sphere cast. And I'll press Control 4 to add more levels of subdivision and use the Control tilde helper to set smooth. With our cube, we'll look at it from side view, and with boxcutter, we'll just begin drawing an end-gone shape. And just cut through, press Z, convert to inset, and we can press T to adjust the amount of thickness and click to apply. We'll look at this back from side view, draw a box shape, and cut across, and maybe even put a piece in the center here, rotate it 45 degrees, and mirror that across and below using hops. And here we are with our starting shape here. So recut is a feature that is similar to slice, so we draw a box. We could also start off in slice, but I am always used to pressing hotkeys to switch. And this is basically what you get with slice. If we press Alt X, you can see that now I actually got back what was taken away from this via the cuts that we did previously. And mirror has also been improved, so I could press 1, 2, and 3 in order to mirror on X, Y, and Z, and now toggling should behave as intended. So now we're able to recut and get back the original mesh that we lost while also slice integrating it into the surface. So recut is a type of mod behavior. So if we go under slice, you can see that slice has a recut toggle, which means that if I go in here and select this shape and just basically do a slice, it will just jump into the recut status. And so this is something that you can use to your advantage when it comes to cutting shapes out and getting back things that you have previously lost.